thoughts of you were sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
Got the lyrics right. Very proud. I did skip a couple lines, but at the end, it was on point.
No, it was good. I think I got it, the timing down. If I started at a certain time, it turns on at the right time. Hello.
What?
Hello.
Hello.
So and also, if you checked in early, while we were just trying to get things going, and it was just the splash screen, no music, you could probably hear, why you keep clicking the
You kept
button?
clicking the button.
I was refreshing.
It didn't make any sense. He didn't say any words. Just kept clicking refresh.
All right.
I think Ryan heard it.
It was great. Why you keep clicking the button? And I had to mansplain to her.
There's no light that tells me the mic's on. It doesn't say like mic on.
Oh, it's actually, it does.
Where?
Right here. See that little bar that goes there?
Yeah. But that happens all the
When that's
time.
muted. When that's
Is
red.
it red?
When that turns red,
Mm.
then the mics are off.
What if I can't see that?
Well, then I can't help you much.
Okay. Happy Friday!
We made it to Friday, people.
We did ish. We rolled into Friday. We
Holy.
were shoved into Friday.
I'm still like sweaty, sticky.
You didn't fix the thing.
What do you mean?
It's stuck on the main.
Oh, I paused it.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Lame.
I'll just click the button again.
Okay. Yeah. One more time.
So well, I'm glad you heard it, Ryan. Hopefully you did. It was good. Well, here we are. Yes, we are here on a Friday. We're going to talk about probably some things that occurred. Oh, I forgot to put down a good thing. I just remembered. It's going to be awesome.
I'm gonna
Very
write it
excited
because I
about
know what you're gonna say.
No, you don't. Don't write it down. Don't.
It's fine.
Don't.
It's fine.
Don't.
Nope. Too late.
She's putting yes.
Yep. It's
yes.
fine. How you doing?
She is writing it down.
All right.
I totally forgot until just now.
But we start off as we do every Friday.
Oh goodness.
Cheers.
Cheers into
Salud.
our. Hopefully you guys have libations. If you don't,
I like this one.
if you don't have libations, I'm not going to try it.
You're not gonna try to say what it is or try it at all.
Both.
Ah, lame. So there was a billboard as we were driving today, and it said, "Drink Centario," and I was like, never had that one
Are
before.
you serious? Is that why you did it?
Well, that, and it was on sale. So I was like, obviously the universe wants me to try this, so I bought it.
That's
And
funny.
I feel like tequila's either sweet, and this is just to me, it's either sweet or it's kind of more on the salty end. And
I don't know.
you like the sweet one more than the
Yeah, I
salty
think
end.
so.
Yeah, but you like salt in your sweet tequila, which is funny to me because you don't like the sweet and salt and anything
I'm
else.
just a funny guy.
But this one is definitely not sweet, so I like it.
What is it called?
Centario Reposado. Oh, I guess I can show you.
There's cameras, but she also did it. Oh,
Come on.
I'm trying to get out of frame.
I give up. I tried.
It took a while, eh?
It didn't like it.
Oh, maybe I have it set wrong.
Well, it's just not for you guys.
Maybe.
Universe said not for you, just for me.
And I'm just having some proper.
Yeah.
And
And then go ahead. What are you drinking?
I'm also drinking some of this.
It's just not meant. Oh, how come yours did it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I have my camera set wrong.
Lame.
So we zipped over to New Glory, and got some Cargo Short Flex West Coast IPA.
Yes.
We haven't been over there in a while, so we thought we'd swing
My
by.
phone's not.
when
I
we're
mean,
having
shocker. My phone's not liking this today.
The- It happens every
That's
single
not
week.
true.
And I go, refresh.
That's not true.
Like I was clicking a little button.
This is different.
When I was clicking the little button, that's what I was doing.
This is
refresh.
different. It's different this time. It's not because we're
Always
blurry.
different. And then you go, oh, I refreshed.
Hello, Orlando's. They said hello.
Well, checking in. We are here. So yeah,
Yes.
that's what we did. We're here to hang out with you guys, hang out with each other.
But first,
Oh yeah.
you push the button, aren't you? Good thing. It's like he's not even reading the schedule in front of him.
Oh, I have mine turned over.
Didn't even talk
So-
about our wonderful sponsor.
That's a good thing.
Didn't
All right.
even do it.
Sponsor.
Oh wait, I'm having an amber lager. Cheers again.
Oh,
All right, your turn.
it said what?
There's banter. It's okay.
Oh.
Go sponsor.
Sponsor is, as always, Eliya Consulting.
Yes.
EliyaConsulting.com. Check them out because Lucy Jung will give you a free consultation about just stuff you need to get done in life as it is. Like
Yes.
maybe you want to go to school. Maybe you want to write a resume. Maybe you want to balance your checkbook. I don't
feel
know.
like I need to talk
She
to
does
Lucy.
all of those things and she's really good at it and she's super sweet about it. So,
And we get to see her in like less than 15 days.
yeah, I mean,
It's too hard to math.
it's like
I said less than 15. 7 is less than 15.
7.
Yeah.
It's a week from
but
today.
it's less than 15 is what I'm saying.
Which also puts us into some housekeeping. We will not be broadcasting live
Sad.
next Friday
I didn't
because
know.
we will be
Just kidding.
woo, we will be doing some IRL stuff. So we'll probably talk about that in a little bit. In real life, show up in person.
Yeah.
Like we don't. What do I say? Don't.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we're going to talk about showing up in real life, we have to actually do that. So,
We're doing our best.
so
All right. See, Ariel said we could broadcast from her house on Saturday.
well, we're working on that. We'll get to that here in a little bit too.
I have that in mind.
Come on, bro. All
I
right.
just kidding.
So now I'll push the button again.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't.
Good thing.
We just like hearing that little sounder.
All right, I'm going to let you go first so I don't steal all yours.
Oh, I only have 2.
Oh, okay.
Because this week was rough and I feel like I was in a tailspin most of it. Especially today, kind of came to a head but all the work that we've actually already done or are currently doing in our company, we're finally getting paid for it,
Woo!
which is insane that it took 2 months.
Yeah.
And it's not a huge chunk of change, but it lets me pay.
When you're a little business, every
Yeah,
piece is a huge
I mean,
chunk of change.
it's not like it's $20,
Right.
you know? I mean, it's enough to pay my employees for like 2 months,
Yes.
you know? So, thank goodness for that. So that was a little bit of a stressor.
Did you
know?
get the other one?
What?
The NUSD one? Did that one ever show up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
No, it didn't show up.
Oh,
They
okay.
sent it out today.
Oh, okay.
At least they said they did.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Less than 15 days, you'll get it.
Jeez. So, and the other thing is, we did a little weird thing.
Not we.
Well, I did.
Yes.
I like to put our stuff out there in different realms and those types of things. So if anybody knows, I know Ryan knows this company called RUDY, which makes high-end recording equipment, software, well, mostly hardware. They even make the stands that, the arms that we're using here. And I feel like they're very similar in quality to Shure. Just Shure was a little bit more accessible to me at the time. And so I submitted a little link for our podcast on Rode, their Discord channel. They go, here's this competition, and we're giving away 10 little, broadcast kits. And I was like, cool. I'll put a link to one of our episodes. So out of how many, tens of thousands of people, we were one of the 10.
We won! Woo!
We were one of the 10 that Rode said, hey, we like the quality of your show. We like your subjects. We're going to send you a little podcast kit.
It's pretty cool.
And it's about $1,000 worth of podcast equipment.
Yeah.
Is it going to be usable? Probably not in this setting.
But to go.
But to go, I think it's going to help us do things, when we do IRL stuff and real life stuff, when we show up in real life. So thanks for switching the camera for those personal reasons.
You, I can't do it. Mine's broken.
Yeah, see?
But why?
Well,
I'm mad. Why doesn't my button work?
Well, I'll switch it to you, and then you can go on to your good things, and I'll try and fix it on the back end because you know what?
You don't have to.
I don't do a lot of stuff on the back end.
I'll just tell you when to push the button.
Here,
It's okay.
No, just go.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
So this week has been, I always say this, but it's been a week, right? Okay, here we go again. So CJ started summer school, which is a good thing because I don't know if you guys have children who are off for the whole summer, but God help you if they're home all day, every day as a teenager. You don't want it. No one wants it. It's awful. It's awful. So he's in summer school, so we're all very excited about that. 8:30 to 3, he is gone. And then, you want me to try it? Then he gets to volunteer at he volunteers at the library, which is funny because he volunteers and hosts their Super Smash tournament.
Okay, so that's
I was like, I don't know if that's volunteering or
that's
just
like
playing games.
the first day that he was volunteering, I get an alert on my phone. Logged into a Nintendo
He is
Switch.
volunteering. I signed the
get
form.
that. I get it. He's getting volunteer credits. Let's put it that way.
Well, they told him what to do. It's not like he could just walk in and take things. They're like, he goes into his little room with his volunteer things and
We're gonna get to the point where he spent $20 he ain't got.
He hasn't done it yet.
All right.
So he set up a Smash tournament for people in the area. And I think like one person signed up so far. But anyways, he wanted to do a cash prize to win this. And so for being in a certain program during the summer, he gets money being in the program. So he's like, well, I'll just use the money from the program and put the money up for the tournament. So they didn't give him the money for the program. So he's like, So I said I'd give $20, but I don't have $20. So now what? And he hasn't asked us for the money.
No, but it's one of those things of he set up a tournament that the winner gets $20.
Yes.
Out of his pocket. He set up that tournament before he had the $20.
Yes. He's learning. As a 15-year-old trying to set up an event, I mean, there's got to be kinks.
He's been going to events with me for
He didn't help you set them up. He's just labor at that point.
That's true.
All right. So first thing, summer school. Second thing, I don't know. Okay, this is more of like a conversation than a good thing. So, and here's a rant / advise me / all the things of having teenagers as drivers. If you have a child who has a license and you want to get them a vehicle and you already have an account where you're like, if my car gets injured, here's the money to fix the car. I need you to triple that number. Whatever number's in your head, just triple it. Just add some zeros to it. Because our wonderful daughter hit another curb. And thankfully, it wasn't as bad as the first time she hit the curb, because the first time the car was gone for almost 6 months.
It was an insurance claim.
That one was an insurance claim.
But that was
so bad.
the second accident she was in.
Okay, the first, I said hit a curb. I didn't say accident. Okay, this was an accident. It's the second curb she hit.
Yes.
So she popped the tire, got the car home, and was like, what do I do? I'm like, there's nothing to do, right? We have to take the car in. So we go, and then we have to get, because the car's all-wheel drive, number one, because she popped one tire, because another tire, the
other tire was about to go because she hit a curb at some other time.
The wall was broken on the other tire.
And you haven't even mentioned this to her.
I did. I talked to her.
Okay.
So at that point, we had to get all four today. And it's not like we don't have a savings for vehicles because we have children who drive. But when you have to get four at a time, it just hurts your feelings. That's all. It just wasn't in the cards.
Well, we got to look at it like, what's our deductible for our insurance?
$100.
$100.
Yeah.
So realistically, we could have probably
absolutely
done it. All I'm saying, I understand.
Yeah.
So here's another tidbit when we come to the savings part. Because of the accidents that are going up that have happened, and the tickets that are under our insurance with both of our daughters.
Ryan hasn't had a ticket yet.
Okay, but the accidents and the tickets.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. The other one has accidents and tickets.
Okay, continue.
Our insurance has gone up over this last year. How much?
A lot.
Per month. How much per month? $300 per month.
Yeah.
Has gone up $300 per month.
That sounds about right.
Okay. So that's why I wouldn't like going.
It's between 2 and 3.
So you got to realize that too. And
just save.
And I think that's where we've talked about the whole when you talked about kids being spoiled and those kind of things, I think that's where I come from, is like every time that they do an oopsies,
Yes.
it costs us thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes. And I've already told both of them at some point. I mean, I told Lacey, 21, it's on you. Car's getting written in your name. Insurance is up to you. Go with God. Mariah, we're going to hang out a little bit longer because, you know, she's younger than Lacey. But Valerie said not worth driving anymore. They need bikes. Yes. But unfortunately, the places they go, bicyclists in this city, I feel like they get in more accidents than the flipping cars.
Killed.
It's terrifying over here. Anyway.
But, yeah, I mean.
So we had to get new tires today.
You'll get there, Valerie. You'll get there.
It's a good thing because we are okay with paying it. It's a good thing because she's safe. It's a good thing
that we can.
Yes.
And not just that. It's not, yeah, I agree with that so much, but it's not that just we can. It's also, what are you doing?
I'm just confused. Go ahead.
About what?
Nothing. Continue. I'm not cheating off your paper.
You're looking at my paper while I'm talking, and that's distracting. You're so distracting.
I know. Continue.
I don't know what I was talking about now.
I can move on.
It's not about the fact that we do have the money. It's the fact of, can they be self-sufficient? What are they going to do when this accident happens in their life as an adult? Are they going to ask us to cover it then too?
Right.
Because they don't have I said this today, they don't have a trajectory to have that at this point. And at what point, we've talked about these before, but at what point do we need to see a trajectory?
Again, every kid's
in that?
different. We only have one kid who works a full-time job during school years. So we don't really know about anyone else. Like we're only going off one data input this time. Anyways, okay. Next thing, Scooter made this agreement with Elise.
Oh.
And I didn't make this agreement with Elise, but here we are. So he said that if she kept a job for 3 months.
6 months.
6 months. 6 months. He would pay for her to get a tattoo. So today, our kid got 2 tattoos because that was the price range of what he offered her. So she got 2 of them.
Correct.
I almost died.
And it was a good thing.
That's why I put it under there.
That was a cool thing. To me, it's something that somebody has wanted for a while. They're going to get it anyways, right? It's going to eventually happen.
But to me, that's the hypocrisy of what you just said. She wasn't going to get it anyways. It would have taken her forever at this rate. But she's like,
But also,
I learned what I could do.
But also, she
kept the
didn't
job
have a job.
She kind of had a job.
No, she had a very part-time job.
2 very part-time jobs.
And she was losing one of them at the time. And that's why I said, my motivation was, I know what she kind of wants. Let's dangle that carrot out there.
And hopefully she signs back up
hopefully, here's my biggest fear, because the school year's over and she works at the school as an instructional assistant. If she decides not to go back, she just had this job while she lived over here to get a tattoo.
Maybe.
And I'm like, oh my goodness.
I think
maybe
she's
it
gonna go back
backfired.
because she also likes students.
I don't know.
So everyone's asking, what did she get? And Valerie, I will send pictures as soon as I have a moment. Today's been bananas. But so she got it's something from an anime that she watches, but it looks like a giant spider, like this big. And then in the middle of it, it has 5 for our family, for the 5 people in the family. And then on her arm, she got, it looks like a deck, like almost a card. And it's like a deck, like a card.
Like a
playing card.
Or like a playing
card. That's what I was going with. It's a playing card, and it's a sunflower, and then it has the day my mom passed, so it has 511 on it. And she didn't cry because, I don't know if you guys know in this family, we don't do tears. I know you guys have seen me cry. I probably cry the most in our family. But she told herself.
I know your sister, Rebecca.
Oh, Becca, that's true. But at least, not in front of people. Becca
That's
told
true.
herself, we don't cry. Or Becca, at least she told herself, we don't cry in front of people. We're bosses. And I said, that's right. Don't you cry in front of these people. Suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup. Scooter cries all the time.
I'm not getting a tattoo. Like
No,
physical pain, I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
It's emotional pain, I'm done.
Oh my
Blah.
gosh.
I'm
Don't
out.
send him a poem or a song
A
recommendation.
poem. I think recently, what was it? I think Ryan sent me some stupid TikTok video.
Everything.
Bailey sent me a poem.
Yeah.
I was like, somebody will
All
send me
the
a
tears.
song. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like physical pain, I was like, I think we talked about that a
Yeah.
while ago. It was like, I wasn't allowed to express physical pain.
Yeah. All right. So number 4.
Holy smokes.
I appreciate the things in life. So when we had so tomorrow I'm going to visit my siblings. We're going down to the valley, and there's a beer exchange at my brother's house, which is random, and I got like last minute invited, which is fine. But I had to go get beer.
That's a whole nother subject.
I had to go get beer because I didn't have any that I would want to share, because the ones in this house that's left, it was nobody wants those. So we went to New Glory, and there's a place out there called Knox Barbecue. And let me just say, I have had some good barbecue, but this was maybe some of the best barbecue that I have ever had. The chicken, the brisket, the pork belly, friggin' the rice, stop it. I can't even.
It was something else.
So good.
That's the first time we've ever seen them out there, too.
Yeah. I like them. They were
been
delicious.
out there for a minute, but holy smokes.
And then last thing, because I stole it from Scooter, he finally cleaned the fan. The fan is back on in the dining room.
She stole it.
It was icky.
Well, it got to the point where it got gross. So, it just don't have the stuff on it. So, and I have gear here and all that stuff. So I just stopped turning it on.
Instead of cleaning it.
And then, hold on. To clean it, I have to take all this equipment and get it away from here so it's not dropping all over top of it. But the other day I was like, okay, I moved all the equipment, put it to the side, covered it all up. You weren't down here for this whole moment.
It's just funny because your arm movements, you always cover the camera.
Well, that's just what I do. But yeah, I covered up all this stuff. I think even if you're on my B reel, you probably saw me looking at the fan with my little duster. Because that's what I was doing. I was cleaning the fan.
Yes.
And now it's on.
It's on. It's nice again.
And it feels fresh in here, even though I'm sticky sweaty today because I
stress.
The whirlwind of the day. The last
whirlwind of the day is right.
24 hours has been a 24-hour.
Yes.
That lasted a year.
Yes. Well, that's our good things this week. So many. I mean, there's so many good things. We have to find the good things.
I mean, yes, the last 24 hours has been crazy.
I am the fundraising director of our Music Booster program. So next year,
sucker.
It's all me.
You're a sucker.
I'm actually excited about this one.
You're going to actually be the best addition to that whole board.
It's true.
It's fact.
Yeah. Because I actually don't need them to do my job.
No.
No,
you just go out and do it.
Yeah.
And go, here, I've made some
stuff.
money.
Yeah. Here's your donation.
money.
Here's your stuff.
Peace
Leave me
out.
alone. Very excited about it.
And they can't really ask you to do anything.
No, there's nothing. It's great. It's the best position.
You're like, no, that's on you.
And I get to help plan the jazz night.
Because if they have a fundraising idea, go for it.
Yeah.
That's not on you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So excited.
It's going to be awesome.
All right, those are all the good things.
On the flip side of that, I have
Scooter's done.
Officially said I'm not going to be the president of there anymore because these adults are, how do I say it? I've never met a bunch of adults that talk about doing things
without doing
and
anything.
not do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy.
They talk about it and they don't be about nothing.
This mic moving is
mine's
so
bobbly
distracting.
too. That's because I'm shaking a lot.
I know.
I'm shaking the table.
It's all the hand movements.
Yeah, it's all the shaky. But no, I've never met a group of human beings that have all these ideas that they think are great, yet none of them get implemented.
Yeah.
Never seen this before at this capacity before my whole life.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a good thing anyway. I felt like we
Yeah.
just went into the
Well, it's a
next
good thing
category.
because the good thing was like I know when it was bad. I'm finishing out my year. I'm still supporting them.
Yeah.
I'm still helping them get back on their feet. We fixed them so they're 100% legal.
But wait, you're into the next subject.
Before me, they didn't even have insurance.
But you're in the next subject.
No, I'm not. That's not a rant.
What?
That's more of like, the good thing is I set them up for success.
Okay.
That's the good thing, and I'm stepping away.
Okay.
How's that not a good thing?
But when you add to the end of all the things that people did
That's
wrong,
all I ever do.
That's a rant.
Yeah, but a rant could be the tail end of a good thing.
That's what I just said. We're in the next subject.
Oh my goodness.
There's no button either.
Then
I saw
sing
you
it.
look.
Then
No,
push
it's your
the
turn.
buzzer and sing.
No.
No, because I did it last week and you said you sang the whole thing. Blah.
Yeah, you said let me sing the end. Go ahead.
No, I'll do the end.
No, I'm gonna do the end.
You don't have it. You don't have it in you.
Yes, I do.
I don't have the rest of it. See? Do the whole thing.
I can't. It's too much pressure now. Go ahead.
TikTok, 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 TikTok.
Rant of the week. Rant of the week. Rant of the week.
See? Nailed it. You don't need me for any of this.
That's not true. I can't set
A little
this up.
echo and reverb on that.
I can't
would
set
be
this up.
perfect.
All right, what you got?
Oh,
Do you have
yes, I do, and it happened very recently. I always have a rant,
any?
and even if I don't, if you say something, oh, I'll find one.
Mhm.
All right, so
Just gonna pour more down.
people go through trauma in their life.
Yes.
They go through actual. I mean, I put it in perspective. Everybody has different levels of what they can handle. I get that. But in a small community or a small group of friends or acquaintances, if somebody's going through something pretty traumatic, and I want to say not just like, oh my gosh, I owe the power company $500. They're going to shut off my stuff. That's not traumatic to me. That's like, okay, figure that out. Take a loan, whatever. Oh, I don't have a lot of friends. I was like, okay, that's not traumatic. That's just something we need to kind of figure out and go to a therapist and kind of figure out. But if somebody's going to lose like their parent, like very soon, or something that happens, something actual traumatizing
Right.
for everyone,
Right.
right? But not just you exclusively. Let them have their moment.
Yeah.
Let them be kind of like the focal point of the community or the group, right?
Yeah.
There's a point when things are not going well for one person, right?
Yeah.
And I've said right many times because I'm trying to leave out a lot of details, to be honest. But if that person's going through that, be there for that person as a community, as a friend, as acquaintances, as your circle of buddies and everything. Be there for that person. Don't steal it.
Right.
Don't go, well, you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to do the same thing.
Right.
And I need some of that attention for any reason.
Right.
No,
You could think it, just don't say it out loud. Keep it to
be
yourself.
humble, sit down.
Right.
Like, you can think it, you can feel it.
Right.
Please do feel it.
Yeah.
Reach out to whoever you need to reach out to.
Yeah.
But don't take it away
And in
from
the
that
same
person.
sentence, don't be like, you know what? Since you lost somebody, I'm actually going to change my life as well. Like, well,
I'm gonna go.
okay.
You know what?
Thanks for asking if I'm okay.
I'm gonna step away and do my thing because you are,
Yeah.
I let people go through that. Don't try and take it from them. Don't try and take some of the spotlight from another person,
Right.
especially in that moment. If
Yeah.
somebody's peacocking, that's different. If
Right.
somebody's like, boom, I'm up here, I'm everything. I was like, man, you're always up there, I'm everything.
Right.
You need to share that. But I'm talking in the other moments when it's pain and trauma. Why are we trying to one up another person in
Yeah.
our pain and trauma?
I agree.
It's been on my heart.
In the week. In the week.
True.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off of yours because what I'm going to say is when people are in crappy moods and then they make the choice to make everyone else around them also be in a crappy mood, that's really annoying. I'm going to need you to sit down and be humble and be like, just stop. Why do you get to force your crap mood upon everyone else? And then be like, well, I didn't make you in a bad mood. Who, listen, change your tone, change your words, because yes, you did. That drives me friggin' insane.
Doesn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
I know, but
Yes.
but let's always remember some of our first years because I feel a little bit. She does a lot of this on live stuff to pick things out of what's happened currently.
Well, we have this conversation with our son all the time.
Yeah, and I do it less as we go on. I hope, but I also know there's been multiple times early in our relationship that still comes up in my brain. I can't make you feel anything.
It's true.
You've said that to me
Yes.
so many times.
But you know what's great is I've grown. And you can make me feel. You
I
know what
am
you can make
trying
me
to
feel?
grow.
Pissed off, wanting to flip a table, and telling you can go
I'll
do.
bolt
you
this
can go
table
do this
down.
all by yourself
I'm
if
gonna
you're going to
bolt it
have
down.
this attitude.
I'm bolting it down because I don't want to take a table to the
One
face.
of these days. So that's my number one.
No, it does happen. It does happen frequently in a, how do I say, a emotionally accepting house,
Yes.
right? To where we want to encourage emotions, but we don't you can't lash out because of emotions.
Yes.
I think that's where we're coming from.
Yes.
You need to find a way to express it.
Feel what you feel. That's great.
That's
but
fine.
you don't get to treat me like crap because
Right,
you're feeling
because
a
you're not
certain
feeling
way.
well.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
we're not doing that nonsense. All right. Second one. And I guess I'll end positive, so I'll go this way.
Wow. Well, you skipping something?
No, I'm coming back. When you offer to do something for someone, I think this is like my literal motto in life, and then you complain about doing that thing. That is so friggin' annoying. Then don't do it.
Yeah, true.
Don't offer your services and offer your help and offer your heart to somebody. And then when they say, well, this is what I need you to do, be like, I can't believe I had to do this for you. I can't believe I had to take my time to do this for you. Then don't friggin' do it.
Right.
Okay, I'm cross that one off the list. Last one.
Don't squiggle.
I didn't. I just did a straight line.
Okay.
Last one. So we walk our dog down the street like 87 times a day. It feels like because she's old and has to pee all the time. And there has been a broken water line on our street
geez.
for at least, it was like a week, probably a good week. And it's so much water. It sounds like a river going down the drain. And
Well, and we're in a. I mean, I apologize for cutting you off, but to get a disclaimer for people that don't live here,
right.
We get rain,
Yes.
and then for some reason in the summer we're always in a drought,
Yeah. No matter
and they
what.
always say they have brownouts here because it gets too hot, where your power could go off at any time in the summer. They have points where if you are caught watering your lawn, you could get a fine.
On your off days, yes.
Yes. If you are washing clothes during peak hours,
They charge you more money.
They will charge you more money. I mean, it becomes to that
Yeah.
point. So here in the spring, the very kind of early where we have gotten quite a bit of water over this last year, something sprung a huge leak.
Yes.
And it's just running underground and going straight into the drain.
Yes.
For
And
7 days.
it's not just under, it's on the sidewalk. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going from the grass across the sidewalk down the drain on the curb, right? So it's
Yes.
a ton of water.
So here we go.
We've walked past it way too many times, right? Like as soon as I noticed it, I was like, I feel like someone should call this in. And the next day I'm like, it's still here. And the next day I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture to call it in. And the next day I'm like, someone should call this in.
I'm the person to call it in.
So then I called 311 and I was like, hey, there's water. Like, it sounds like a river basically going across this little pathway. And they're like, is it in your complex? I'm like, no, it's on the public street. Can somebody please come fix it? Because it's just so much water. It's just so much water. My rant is, it's in front of someone's house. So it's not like they didn't see, or someone's unit. It's not like they didn't see that this water's running and overflowing.
Right.
Because they have to, if you walk out your front door, it's literally right in your front door. And so the people who live there, I'm just like, how do you not care? I don't understand. Because, and it's part of my shout out, but I'll just do it now. When I called, they came out in 15 minutes to turn it off and fix it. 15 minutes. And the guy called me back to say, hey, I'm on my way to come fix this. I'm like, cool. Thank you. I should have called like 3 days ago because we wasted so much water.
Right.
I just feel like, again, it's that weird see something, say something. It's just, I don't know. It's just part of being a good neighbor at that point.
And I think, we're so easy to get on Nextdoor and complain about our neighbor or complain about another homeless person.
Yes.
For goodness sakes. Or we're here to complain about somebody being weird.
Right.
Or I was like, okay.
Gunshots or fireworks?
Yeah. Every time you hear like a backfire in a car, it's like, was that gunshots?
No.
So
Never.
how many times has that same person done all that and then walked across this water?
Right.
That's running across their lawn.
Because the amount of
and
people
did
that
nothing.
walk on that street every single day, it's
We have a school.
right.
We have a school here.
Yes.
So, and everybody, I mean, if you have a school and you're taking your kids to school, you all live in the area.
Yes.
That's the way districts work.
Why are your eyes closed?
Because I'm kind of ticked off. Because like so many, there's this mentality of like, oh, I live in this area. It's like, we know you live in this area.
Right.
Our kids go to school together.
Yes.
What's wrong with your brain?
Yes. I'm only 4 minutes from there. Shocking.
We all are. Yeah. Like when they say it's like, oh my gosh, I'm only 4 minutes.
I think this means we people too much this week because we had
we really did.
Yeah.
We had a lot of things going on. I'm exhausted.
Let's go to the meat and potatoes.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, but we're gonna do one more.
Oh, who's out there? Anybody want to? Oh yeah, Oh, I see the Kendrick reference. Yes.
Yes.
Sit down, be humble.
Yeah.
Yes, but the funniest thing is, to me, was our son said that more than anybody in this house, And we're like, dude.
I think you need to relearn what that means.
He was like, I was like, yeah, that was his least humble stage of his life too.
It's gonna be random. Did you see Little Baby's gonna be in Sacramento in like July?
If I hear another artist called Lil something,
I was thinking we should go take him. Look, if I said cheers, let's do this.
all right. If I hear another artist called Lil,
We might go see Little Baby in the summer
Just
just for
launch it
CJ.
because did I say this on the podcast about him being an artist?
Little Dookie.
Calling him Lil Dookie.
Yes, Bailey. One more shot.
Yes, they will too. All right.
Wait. Oh, John's drinking wine. John and Valerie are having
Oh,
wine.
nice. So we got some wine going on.
Tequila.
Tequila. Bourbon. We got more tequila on this
Yes.
end.
Wine shot. Same thing. Just mix some sparkling water in it. It's like sangria.
Just swirl it up real fast.
Sangria shots.
Just swirl it up real fast, and it just goosh, goes right down. Just do like a what do they call it?
I think that's an issue when you start shooting wine.
No, but they do it. What do they call it when it's oh, what is it? The seltzer? Not the Zima, but the I can't remember. But it's like it is one of those things you've been iced. It's Smirnoff Ice.
Oh, yeah.
And you've been iced. You see
Oh,
the
yeah.
ice.
No.
You see a
You
Smirnoff
have to
Ice. You
chug
have
it.
to chug it.
I would vomit.
So you swirl it up and go.
It's too much. It's too
I'm
much
like,
carbonation.
oh, it's sugar and carbs.
Screw the sugar.
Carb.
The carbonation.
Carbonation and sugar. It's like more of I like carbs. Yeah, it's so bubbly. It
I would
like
vomit.
fuzzes your brain.
Yeah, I can't do it.
And it's like a sugar overload. I ate like 13 suckers.
Yeah, no, thank you.
13
Suckers. Not lollipops.
suckers.
No, right?
Lollipop.
Sucker.
Lollipop.
All right, are you ready? I have 2 advise me nots this week.
Oh, that's not good.
We're going to start with the funny one.
Advise me not. We're going to start with what? No.
So this one was brought
We're
to
going to start with what? The funny one?
the funnier one. This
Funnier.
one was brought to us by our family member who said, how do you agree on dinner when you guys are trying to go out? and it's been a rough one because there's
That's a
so
rant.
many issues. It is a rant. That's why it's like a rant advise me not moment.
So here's how this, because it did come up, it came up earlier. You said it, and you kind of gave me the synopsis of the story.
Yeah.
And I said, why does it always default to the kid?
And I said what?
Because you only spend a certain amount of times with the kid, and then they're gone. I
Yeah,
was like,
then you guys do whatever you want.
well, they're not gone. She's
but-
20.
But but we don't ask her for dinner anymore. But I mean, that's the thing. We don't ask her like, "What do you guys want for dinner?"
I'm just
We
saying,
say
kids don't go away if
they.
you...
But their opinion counts less because once they get older, they're like, "Find your own food. We don't care."
I don't understand. So when they're younger, their opinion counts more,
Yes.
even though their palate has not
Yes,
graduated
Yes.
into like good
because
taste. They would rather eat Takis
yes.
and suckers.
But again, people need to understand we don't have this issue. Our kids literally will eat anything that we bring home. Lisi didn't want onions for like 2 days, and that's like the extent of them not wanting food.
That was hilarious.
So for us,
And then she ate onions out of a jar.
yes,
For the next
pickled
year.
onions. Yeah, it was a weird phase for the 2-day phase.
That's what I look at. I think that's where I'm at. It was like when it comes to the kid in the house, they don't even know what they want.
Yes, they do.
They know what they want because they haven't experienced so many things.
Exactly. And at that point, as a parent, you're just like, I just need you to eat food.
We would eat Takis,
So
Cheetos.
if we're gonna go out and
Gummy bears.
I know you'll eat this thing, then we're gonna go do that. That's the way it usually works. Our house is different. When we decide we're gonna have for dinner, it's especially if we're gonna go out, who makes the decision first is where we go with, because we're not that picky. Most of the time, I have to make the decision because nobody else does.
Well, because I mean, what's on the, I don't want to say what's on the list of places that we want to go are not McDonald's.
Right.
It's
No,
not
we're
Burger
talking
King.
sit down, go out to
But
eat.
even if it was just for dinner, like it's very rare that we all go, okay, let's just get in and out. That's usually your call.
Yeah.
Because we're like, it's too much right now. And everybody's going in 17 different directions.
Yeah.
And we can meet and eat in and out and then move on.
Yeah. It's usually because it's like 7:58 and we haven't had dinner and I'm not making anything.
Well, also,
and no one
and
else
the-
is making
and
anything.
somebody's coming home,
Yeah.
and then having to go somewhere or go to bed.
Right.
You know, we're still working.
Yeah. So
we're
in
like,
and out is like our once in a while we're going to do in and out because that's
Yeah.
just the easy thing to do.
That's right.
But if we're going to choose to go out to food, one, it's usually me who decides. Because again, everybody else will eat everything that I choose.
You're pickier.
I am pickier.
Thank you. Holy cow.
But the funny thing is it's not foods that I won't eat, it's quality of food.
I
I say this all the time. I'm always all shocked and surprised.
No, because you ask us to pick, and then you go, no, I don't want that.
Okay, let me just say this real quick.
Has that ever happened?
Well, because they picked freaking Taco Bell. Obviously, who wants Taco Bell? It's disgusting.
That we all did, but you don't. So you see,
No.
or we go, hey, what about KFC? That sounds good, and you're like, no.
Listen.
So that's that.
Listen,
all
Linda.
I'm saying is, we do have to pick if we're going to eat as a family. We do have to pick from something you will consume.
Yes.
Okay, that's all that's ever been said.
But it's not like I pick places where the food is like you guys won't eat what's there,
Well, because we'll eat anything.
but you guys will pick places that I won't eat there.
I'm gonna.
That's
butthead
not
about
true.
that. Like when I've gone to Taco Bell, have I taken you?
Yes.
No.
When we're traveling, well, there's no other option. We're all together.
But you eat at some other place.
Yeah, I just won't eat. That's what I told you.
But I was like, that's ridiculous. So, but I have taken each of
That's
our kids
food
out there
poisoning.
individually. Mariah will never eat
Never
Taco
again.
Bell again. I was like, one bad experience, you just got to power through.
Yes.
When it comes to Taco Bell, it's only once.
Yes.
You're fine.
Okay, and the other thing is, so when we go up to eat and I say specifically, man, this is really good food. And then people are like, well, we don't choose because we don't know what you would like. Then listen, because I tell you what I would like. I tell you what food I would like, but still I have to make the decision because everyone's like, I don't know because we don't know what you like.
It's true.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Actually, could you just put it like a spreadsheet? I mean,
Absolutely not.
because maybe we can VLOOKUP.
X lookup is the new one.
Nerd Talk, X lookup, V lookup, what you're wanting for dinner. I don't know. Is that a thing?
So John said, I have to pay real adult money to eat kid food. Just did it tonight. Teppanyaki, the kid won't eat. I mean, that's the other issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yes,
I have to pay for this food, so I want to eat food that I enjoy.
Correct.
But again, the conversation's hard because we don't have picky kids.
No, that's
There's
true.
no place if I recommend
feel like-
any place, my kids are like, yes.
I feel like our kids want to think they're picky.
No, they are picky.
They want to think they are,
But that's
they're
true.
not.
No.
They want to think that it's like, I will only eat this, and it was like, okay, do you know you have a bag of garbage in your hand right now that you're shoving down your throat, and you're like,
But
you
know
want to
what's
be an
interesting?
elitist?
But the funny thing is, the older they get, the more it's like if it's not good cooked food, they're like, I don't want that anymore. Like I want food that actually tastes good, not just Mariah's the same. Mariah's that way.
Who's older than her?
Lisi's the same way. Have you seen what Lisi brings home? She doesn't even have the money to buy what she buys. She still brings home bougie
She spends
food.
over $1,000 a month on takeout food
We don't know that.
or something.
She spends a lot, but we don't know the number. But so Valerie said, then I should be the one to decide and everyone should listen to me. Yes, Valerie, I 100% agree.
No, I do too. I mean, there needs to be somebody that goes, hey, and I feel like it's an adult that's footing the bill. Like the people that are in charge, the people that are in charge of the financials of it. Now, if Mariah or CJ are taking us out to dinner,
Then they get to choose.
agreed.
Yeah.
But 99.9% of the time, with a bunch more nines,
Yes.
we're footing the bill. So why do they get to choose?
Well, here's the thing. It's not like they actually get to choose. I say, here's our 3 options. What do you guys want to go to?
Oh, that's true.
Because I've already chosen. I'm good with any of these options. So whichever one you guys choose, we're good.
But I think that's pretty common, actually, because I know I did that as a kid. My dad used to make fun of me because we'd go to like really high end like surf and turf play. Like we're talking like very expensive seafood, very expensive everything, and I'd have a burger.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. Our son has done that. I was like, we've been on trips and we sit down and everybody's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try the lobster and I'm going to try this crab thing. And he has a burger.
But it is a good burger.
All I'm saying is I understand that. It was like, you said it's annoying until
Yeah.
I said it was CJ.
Yeah.
But when I did, it's annoying.
It is annoying.
But when CJ did it, it's
Yeah.
just,
It's less annoying.
it's a good burger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just messing with you.
I'm just trying
more
to
fun this
dissect
way.
the conversation.
It's just more fun.
No, and I'm okay with that too. But I feel like if you're gonna sit there and not eat or say, have that pouty moment,
Yeah.
oh, I don't like onions. I was like, you're going through a moment.
Right.
You need to work through that.
You can do also, if everyone's picky and no one ever agrees on a place, you put the names in a little jar and somebody picks it. Whoever the names comes out of the jar gets to pick the restaurant.
That's a cool idea. We've never done that.
No, because we always agree.
Oh.
I'm talking about people who can agree on where to go.
But I was like,
Or just be like,
and also
my
got to look at
money, I'm
this, like the smaller the number of people, the less discussion it should be. So
I think
let's
it's
just
more.
really.
Yes.
Oh, that is true. If it's just you and me, oh man, we sometimes don't eat.
That's not true.
Well, we eat we'll come home and make a quesadilla.
No, because we get in the point. Here's the concern when it's just the two of us.
I get angry.
Can I finish talking?
Well, I just know what you're gonna say.
You don't know.
I get angry
have
because
no
I'm
idea.
hungry. It's called hangry.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
Number one. Okay.
Boopity boo.
What was I going to say was.
Your head movement was boopity boo. That's all
What I
I
was
saw.
going to say was one of us has to decide where we're going to eat. And that's usually me.
Yes.
But what happens is if it becomes something where we have to order food to get delivered, I say there's no friggin' way I'm paying $70 for a pizza.
Oh, that happened.
And then I go in the fridge and figure something out.
Hold on. The other night, it took about an
Oh, it
hour
was
and a half.
psychotic.
I mean, it took a whole drive home.
Yes.
Because I drove.
Yes.
Your
I was researching prices.
Your job was to make sure that there was food by the time we got home.
Yes. Didn't do it.
Got home.
Yeah.
Nothing's been ordered.
No. I wanted pizza.
And all she wanted was pizza.
Let me.
We're not talking
No.
just pizza.
No, that's not true. It's not
She
just
said
pizza.
pizza.
I wanted wood-fired pizza. I wanted very specific
You
pizza.
did not say
I
wood-fired
did.
pizza.
Because you're
Well,
like Domino's. No, I don't want Domino's. I want good pizza. Good pizza is wood-fired pizza.
Well,
That's
then
number
I
one.
wasn't listening.
I wanted wood-fired pizza.
Cool.
But in Sacramento, to get a wood-fired pizza, it's like to get delivered to your house for 2 pizzas. It was going to be over $100 and something.
Oh, there's another
And
rant.
I was like, screw
There's
that.
another rant right there.
I can go make a
We
wood
are
fire
not-
outside and make my own pizza.
Right. Are you digging a hole in
Right.
the sand
It
and
was
then
crazy.
bringing over stones from Italy
Right.
to make this pizza?
No.
So I was
couldn't do
saying
it.
there's something about the area that we live in
Yeah.
that they think they're worth more than they are.
Couldn't do it.
And I'm like, no, you're in Natomas. You're basically northern Sacramento. Mm-hmm. You're basically northern California,
Yes.
where the culture goes away the further you go north.
Yes. But
Okay.
but understand, if I'm by myself out on work and I find a wood-fired pizza and it's $20, I'm going to buy it. Because it's just me. And $20 sounds better than $100. But if I took my whole family to this wood-fired pizza place, it's going to be $100. And I'm like,
Do you
no.
feel this now? So
Because I'm not above paying $20 for a wood-fired
so
pizza
the rest of us
for
go
myself.
the rest of us go to Taco Bell. She has a $40.
I said 20.
Oh no, a $40 wood-fired pizza. Whoa, we're eating Taco
It's a
Bell.
numbers game.
No, but I agree with that. I was like, but the rest of us are not as uppity about consuming just
Yes.
sustenance.
Yes.
I'm a sustenance person.
Right. I can't do it.
I do appreciate really good food.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. It was like, did we talk about, because we did have some actually really good pizza downtown. Did we talk about that last time?
Okay, here's the issue. You thought it was really good. I thought it was super salty. I
Well,
wouldn't eat that pizza again.
The bread. I'm talking about the crust itself.
The crust was great, but the pizza was not good. It was
Oh.
wood-fired pizza. That part, amazing. But it was so salty. It was like I was licking a friggin' salt lick.
Have you ever licked a salt lick?
I'm pretty sure that's what it would taste like, licking salt.
I was like, because I'm a kid from the country. I have licked
it
a salt
was
lick.
so salty.
I have
salty.
actually licked one.
Couldn't do it again. The crust was great. The dough was really good.
So it's been
Wood-fired
It was
great.
what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
All right. You this is the first time we're going live with this. This is the first time she's said this because 3 times she said that was really good. 3 times.
I did. I said the crust was really good. Well, the issue is he always asked me in front of the waitress, and he's like, "This is the best pizza." And I was like, "Yeah, so good."
Not in front of the waitress.
Yes, you did. That's why I was like, "This is good."
The waitress don't care.
She asked.
She obviously didn't care because it took her an hour to deliver a tequila shot.
Anyways, salty pizza wouldn't go back, but the crust was bomb.
All right, good news.
So where did we get from this advice?
Good news. I'm not going there because I thought, hey man, we'll go back there and have some wood fire pizza. That's what I
Not
was
there.
thinking.
Oh.
And no.
Got ink on my finger. Not there for wood fired pizza.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, drinks were okay. It wasn't that bad, but
No,
the pizza was meh. I mean, service was meh.
Well, service was
Friggin' forever,
how do I put it? It was
and there was nobody in there.
It was
which is
just
weird.
nonchalant.
Right.
Right.
Like we were in Europe.
Yeah, it was not like they were rude or they were ignoring you. They were just
No,
like
they just didn't check on you.
They were aloof.
There was only, we were like the only 2 tables in there.
Yeah.
There was the bar, which the bartender had the bar, and then there was like 2 tables of people.
Aloof.
Yeah.
It wasn't. She was very sweet when you talked to her, but very like, "Are you there? Who's in there?"
Could we get a shot of this? She come back. What did you guys want? Well, it was like 5 seconds ago, so I feel like we
And then
should
she
remember.
goes, "Did you want the well stuff? We drink it all the time."
Yeah, I'm like, that's
That's,
not,
I was like,
it's not a vote of confidence for me.
It's called an aneurysm.
Yeah. So did we advise people? So here's the advice.
We did not.
The mom,
I'm gonna give this to you.
human wife, she gets to make all the decisions. Number one. If you have a picky child, find something on the menu that they'll eat and then move on. If they are like, I don't want any of this, bring some crayons that we can eat at home because we want to go out to dinner. Hopefully don't have picky children if you can do that. I don't know how we did it, but we have like 3 very non-picky children. And take turns. Rotate if you can. We don't rotate here because no one else has an idea of where to eat. If I say, what do you guys want for dinner? They'll literally say food. And then that's it. Sometimes they'll say, I want a burger. And I'll say, where? And they'll be like, burger. Cool. Great input.
Say, flip that. What was the question? Because I want to turn this back on you.
I didn't ask a question.
No, I didn't say you asked a question. I said, I'd like to ask a question.
Oh, okay. They said, what was the question? I'm like, I didn't say anything.
Oh, however, I put it in there to context. What was your statement was, what do you want for dinner? And you say food.
Yes.
So what's the question when we're saying, what are you making for dinner?
Food. It's not your listen. If you're not gonna make dinner, it's none of your business what I'm making for dinner. You can eat whatever I put out there. So yes, food is the answer. If you ask me what I'm making.
Do you know what?
Now, if I'm asking what you want for dinner, and you say food, then I'm gonna figure it out again. Either way, I decide what we're eating.
We need a sounder. Boom.
I mean, I feel like I get to use it more
Because I pulled the trigger.
Yeah, but I still won. So
Oh, I'm just saying I pulled your trigger, right? You had a trigger moment.
yes,
And I love it.
yes, that's
It's
one of
very
my,
true. It's
yeah.
very, very true. If she's in the kitchen and she's making something, like her brain's doing something. And it's doing something more creative than she even thinks is going on. She does something in the kitchen that I've never met anybody that knows. Yeah, well, she can take a grain of sand and somehow dinner shows up. It's true. So, well, just watch her in action, and if you know her, you would know. So when you go in there and ask, she's like, you're gonna be able to eat it.
Yes.
It's going to be good.
Yes.
It might be a test, and it might not be as good as I think it should be, but it's still gonna be good.
Yes.
That's usually what occurs.
Yeah. My main failures are when I follow a recipe. I hate recipes. Recipes should be guidelines. They should not be like, here's the instruction on how to do things. Because your taste is not my taste. You do not add enough spices in this dish.
Well, enough spices and less salt.
Sometimes it needs more salt.
Okay, well,
Which is funny because I find things very salty.
Yeah, that's
But
what's like,
no,
I'm
there's some recipes.
confused.
There's some recipes where I'm just like, so you want a quarter of a teaspoon of salt for all of the stuff we just did. That's not right. You want no pepper or garlic? What are we doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
Basic things. Salt, pepper, garlic.
I always feel like if there's no pepper,
it's
at
wrong.
least some sort of pepper. We're talking like
Some spice.
cayenne
Yeah.
pepper, black pepper, jalapeno pepper. Like
Yeah.
if there's
Something.
no
Oh, it's not
pepper
right.
in something,
No.
I'm kind of out.
Mm-mm.
I'm kind of
Not okay. All right, so that was my first advisement. Do you have anything else you want to add on that one?
I don't even remember the topic, to be honest.
How to agree on dinner, on going out to dinner.
So did we even help
Yes,
with that?
I gave advice. Mom's always right.
Let's look at it this way. I feel like mom's not always right if by default the mom isn't the person that supplies the food on a regular basis. So if dad is the primary cook in the house, if the dad is the primary cook in the house, so this is not 1950, okay, Sarah?
Don't call me Sarah. Told you that already.
If the male in the house is the primary provider of the dinner, like creates the dinners, does the menus, all those types of things, I think by default. So you're saying because you have a vagina.
No, what I'm saying is it is whoever.
And you identify as a woman, as a mother.
No. Listen. I'm going to change it from what you just said. Okay, forget mom. It is the person in the house who does the most for every person in the house. Whoever that may be. It is whoever kisses the most boo-boos. It's whoever does the most laundry. It's whoever does the most food. It's whoever does the most around the house for the people in that house that gets to decide what you're going to have for dinner that day. And it may change from day to day. It doesn't have to be the same person. But it's whoever that day or whoever that week has done the most for the people in that house as a consensus gets to choose what's for dinner.
So do we have to take a vote every day? And
No,
do
you
a
know.
consensus, like
Nope.
what I did?
Not at all.
You don't know.
You know.
Early on in a relationship, you do not know.
No. We're going to talk about right now. You know.
No, I said early on in a
We're not
relationship.
talking about early on.
Yeah, I just said
Well,
early
when
on.
you're two people, nobody cares.
Maybe there's some people that are just getting into a relationship. They haven't been together 10 years. Maybe they need that kind of advice.
Here's the answer.
Maybe some new people need to know.
It's a 50-50 split. When it's just the two of you, you guys better switch off.
What if you're new parents? You've only been together for a year and you have a newborn child.
Know.
Who's the one?
You know who does the most.
But what if you don't? What if you don't have the tools to get through that?
You know who does the most work. Don't play with me. You absolutely know.
But is there a counterbalance to that, a counter argument to that, to where somebody thinks they know and they're wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So how is that?
And there's the moment.
We just know.
There's the moment where you say, what do you want for dinner? And the person who does the most says, I want to do this. And the person who's not doing as much this week says, I don't want that. No, they say, I don't want to do that. And then the person who did a lot this week, who's on the verge of tears and might murder somebody, says, you can go jump off a friggin' rock because this is what we're going to do for dinner today.
But we know, we've seen these relationships, we've been in these relationships where the other person thinks they're doing more than they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean they're doing the most.
Right. In your perspective.
Yeah.
So there may have been some moments in our lives where we were that person that was thinking we were doing more than the other person, but we're not.
If you're in a relationship with somebody, and you guys can't agree, and you can't look at your partner and see that they have a really crap week and they need this.
True.
They need to be the one who chooses what's happening for dinner today. You can't see that in them. Then there's something bigger than what's you're going to have for dinner.
True, but the conversation is just about dinner.
Yes.
Right?
It's never
and they
just about
advise
dinner.
me at night it's about dinner.
It's never just about dinner.
So I'm just saying, we know other relationships that have been around for a decade also, and there's still an imbalance of who thinks they do more.
Yes.
Right? So how do they
what's
figure
their
out?
advice for them?
Yeah.
The alpha always wins. I'm going to leave it right there. The alpha will always decide what's for dinner.
That is true.
But in reality, the alpha's not always the one who does the most.
True.
But the alpha will decide what's for dinner.
And I think that's where the advice.
And the alpha in that situation. It's not the alpha in the whole household, but the alpha in that situation.
Right. And I think that's where I was trying to come from. It was more of a, by default, the person that's the loudest and says the most words will probably get their way. But I always say the person who is the loudest and says the most words is not always correct.
Yeah.
So I was trying to just
because oddly enough, Scooter's the loudest and says the most words in this house.
And I'm wrong.
But he very rarely decides what we have for dinner.
That's
very rarely decides because he's so indecisive when it comes to going out to eat.
Yeah, it's true.
Today, well, let's go today.
Yeah.
We're
What
going
happened?
to Elk
What are you
Grove
talking about?
for Lisi's
Me?
tattoo.
Today?
Yeah. And
What?
you're like, where do you want to go? Why? Why do I have to decide where we're going?
Okay, let's rewind.
Let's
You
rewind.
literally said you were going to find out.
Yes, I gave you 7 options. And then
I
I
don't
still had to
remember.
narrow it down to 1. I'm like, why do I have to decide?
I don't remember the 7.
Literally,
I remember like
your
3.
industry discount is where we're going, and I have to decide where we're going.
In industry.
Yeah.
Oh, we did go one today
Yes.
too.
Yes,
Even.
we did.
Yeah.
I'm like, and the funny thing is, I hate making decisions. I hate choosing where we go to dinner. I hate choosing where we do date night. I hate making choices when it comes to things because all day, all I do is make decisions. And then you're like, where are we going? I don't care. We could go
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
to KFC. At this point, if they have beer at KFC that we can get to go, let's go. I do not care. I'm tired of making decisions.
It's so true. For some reason that's an imbalance of most relationships, most partners. For some reason, hey, what do you want to do? Hey, where do you want to go eat? I don't know. And it's like it's this age old.
Yes.
I want to tell you what I really want, but I want what you really want. So there's this confusion of who does what.
And I'm one of those weird people where if I say I don't care, it's because I truly don't care. It's not like you said, hey, we're going to go to dinner. Where do you want to go?
True.
Then I have a decision.
I think that's true most of the time. I think there are some times where you say you don't care because you have a lot other stuff going on, so you don't want to make the decision.
Yes.
You still care about what that decision is going to be.
Depends.
On the food part.
Yeah. Again, if we're going to
But a
get
lot-
beer, I don't care.
Oh, that's true.
That's
100%
I
true.
do not care where we
But
go.
food wise,
Yes.
it's a little,
I'm
it's a
dropping $200
little
on
more
food, I
difficult.
care.
It's a little bit more difficult, but not so much.
Yeah.
She's not a difficult human when
As
it
long
comes
as
to that.
I can order something that's not fried, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Or not Taco Bell. It's fine. Well, that was the fun one. So do we have time?
We're fine.
So the second
I mean, if
one.
people don't watch,
Yeah.
we're still going to talk.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, with the read comments.
Okay, go through the comments.
You go through the comments.
I know. Well, I got one. Was it? John's got "Mama's always right." I was like, then
Yes.
why are you always complaining, John? All right.
Valor's always right.
Ryan, the primary cook. I see you there. I kind of figured that, but I think you guys have a different dynamic, I think, than most humans. If you guys know Bailey and Ryan, there's a different dynamic there that most humans don't have when it comes to relationships. Yep. John says, Scooter, she gonna get you? I was like, we know. Like, I talk a big talk when camera's on. When the camera's off, man, that table's flipped. I'm out.
So gentle.
I flipped it gently. I was like, I only broke like 3 bones this time.
Oh gosh.
Ryan, I love cooking and making decisions on what or where we eat. Bailey and I never argue about what food. Like I said, you are you're an anomaly. I don't want to say anomaly, but you're a goal for some people to get to, realistically. Yeah. And then John, always agree on what sounds great for dinner 9 out of 10 times.
That's
from Ryan.
right.
And then John, just trying to save you from yourself.
You can't.
You can't.
There's no saving.
We can't save ourselves from ourselves. We can't save each other from each other.
Too much.
No.
All right.
We just do the best we can.
Next
with what we
advice
got.
me not. Are you ready? This came from Lucy last week.
Oh, no.
She said, and the crazy thing is, I heard a couple songs today that made it. I burped. Sorry. That made me feel like this is what we should talk about.
Uh-oh. Oh, let's talk about the universe, like telling you what to do. Certain things, you just got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you have this. There's something else that happened this week,
I'm going to talk, and you're going to pour one more.
No, but there was something else that happened this week, like something came on the radio, and then we saw it, and then it was in a store, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
I don't know what it was.
But either that's, the social bugs that are in our face. Like,
Oh, I pushed me. It didn't work.
it's supposed yours didn't work either?
It's fine. I'm going to do it, but
Push it.
I am, but do this.
Push Sarah.
Okay.
Oh, it did work.
Last advisement of the night. So somebody wrote in and said, how do you limit self-negative talk?
You already
and
said it was Lucy.
Why would you do that?
You already
I
said
know.
it.
I took it back. Okay, fine. Lucy said, how do you limit the basically sabotagers or negative speak and treat yourself better? And so let me ask, because I feel like because I don't know, Scooter, this is one thing he doesn't talk about a lot. Do you do this often?
You had me pouring drinks.
Oh, I got you. Do you do this often?
What?
Negative speak.
I can't do more than one thing. Negative speak to myself. I don't think I do negative speak. I always have negative. Look at it. We're a proper commercial. I always have negative thoughts,
but not speak to yourself.
I used to, very, very much so. And there are some moments like I've had, I think the closest to negative speech probably over the last 5-6 years was like, I got to get out of here.
What does that mean?
Out of this, like,
of
me.
what you're like, you're
out
right,
of
you're in.
me.
Yeah.
Out of me. Like, no, like, ick, gross.
Yeah.
I need to get out of this. Like, I need to run away from myself. I think that's the closest to negative speech over the last like 5-6 years that I've gotten. And it doesn't happen very often, but I feel like that's the closest to negative speech. Because
so I do feel
because
like
I've learned I used to a lot.
I feel like from the people that I know, it's more common for females than it is for guys. And
Really?
I don't know why. I mean, I kind of feel like I know why, but I don't truly know why that it is. So I'm stuck in this loop right now of negative speak. I'm trying my best to get out of it, but I'm like, I've been stuck in it for a minute. And then I'm at the point where it's not just I say it to myself, but I say it out loud. Even to you, I'll say negative things about myself to you. And you're like, why? I'm like, I don't know. That's where I'm at right now.
Don't talk to my girl like that.
Right. So.
Don't talk about my girl like that.
I know. Oh, Ryan said, what are you drinking? Same thing before.
No.
Same beer.
It's
Good.
well, I'm having the same beer. It's the same beer. It's getting warm. But I'm also having, just some shots of proper 12, because it's my.
We're gonna do one more. And then
It
we'll
is my
finish this.
shooting whiskey.
Okay.
It really, really is.
Last one, and then I'll finish my advice meal.
And then we pour another beer. Cilantro.
You can while I talk.
Oh, see,
Okay.
but
Take
then
one
you
more
ask me
shot, and then we're done.
questions.
I promise.
But then you ask me questions, and I'm away from the mic.
It's fine. My nose at time. Okay. So I was driving today, and Demi Lovato's song came on,
Ooh.
and it said, "I wonder when I love me is enough." Have you heard that song?
Yes.
So good, right?
I went to the concert. You didn't.
I know, I was COVID. So that came on. And then the topic also reminded me of that song that says, I wouldn't talk to a stranger the way I talk to myself.
Oh God.
I don't
wouldn't
know
talk.
who that is.
No, it doesn't go that way.
Oh, something like
I
that.
wouldn't talk to a friend the way I talk to myself.
Okay.
Right?
There's something about, there's another song then that says, I wouldn't talk to a
Is
stranger
this
the
a
way I talk
hard?
to myself.
Is it a metal song?
Yeah, they both are. Both songs were. Ryan
Whoa.
was, anyways.
That one destroys
So
me.
there's that thing of, it's so true, right? Like I would never allow anyone to talk to my kids or my friends the way that I talk to myself.
Right.
But why is it okay for me to talk to myself
Right.
that way? And then like,
Right.
how do you do something different to where you're not talking to yourself that way?
Yeah, I spent a very large portion of my life talking negative speech to myself. Like, what are you doing? You're so stupid. Like, you're never going to get it right. Your kids hate you. You're never going to find a person that'll put up with you. I mean, so many times. Like, we're talking up until, God, my mid, almost late 30s. I was like, no, everybody hates you. Every person you date is going to cheat on you. Everybody's going to leave you. I mean, that was me up until probably 37, 38 years old.
Yeah.
And a lot of traumatic things happened in that era of my life, which was really only like 12 years ago.
Right.
But it had to be the kind of the situation. And it's not like it was destitute and that kind of stuff, but it was pretty rough, very isolated. All my friends were very shallow. I didn't have a lot of money, barely had a place to live, didn't have a car, and I'm like in my late 30s, like, you were going to be successful. You were going to be a rock star. You're going to be all this stuff, and you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's the first time I've cussed.
language.
You ain't nothing at this point. And so it was that was probably my lowest point in a long time, since like being a teenager even. So it was very negative speech. But I don't know if I mean, this is right before you before I met you, when I kind of go, I feel like I want to do something different because something's broken in everything that I do.
Yeah.
So I got to fix something. So I don't know. It's kind of like I'm still at this point of in my life, I'd love to have a win.
Right.
And I feel like that was the closest to a win. It wasn't you, but the result of you weren't on camera when you did that. So, so she did what on the side.
I'm not the win. I'm just kidding.
I feel like you were the result of the win.
Right.
Like I won and then I got my trophy wife.
That's weird.
Well, that was awful.
Yeah.
But realistically, because I had to make a change and I had to do something different. And it really had to do with the way that I talk to myself. I was like, instead of every day getting up and going, this sucks, everything's the worst, you're awful at this, the whole list I said before, kids hate you, your ex-wives hate you, blah, whatever. I was more like, all right, dude, today's Tuesday. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
It was more of not a positive speech, but it's like, it's Tuesday, man.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You don't have work. What are you going to do today?
Yeah. So because I wrote down literally whatever is bothering you about yourself, what can you do to change it? Like, what can you do in this minute, in this hour, in this day? Like, what can you do to change whatever you're talking negatively about yourself? What can you do differently to change that?
That I think that's where I was you don't have to say like, I'm going to conquer the day.
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
today,
like actual
guess
things.
what? I'm going to wake up.
Yeah.
I didn't say wake up at 6. I didn't say wake up at 8.
Right.
I said, I'm going to wake up
Yeah.
today. And when I wake up, I'm going to actually get out of bed. Then I get out of bed. I'm going to take a shower.
Yeah.
I'm going to brush my teeth.
Those are wins.
To me, that was that was a rough time. And I feel like that's, yeah. And a lot of things, I still want to win.
Right.
I still would love to win. I mean, and we know who Rome is, if you know me.
Yeah.
I just want to win. Just one. Just a win.
Yeah.
In something. And I'm still there. I'm still doing that every single day. Getting up and goes, all right, we're going to get up. We're going to do something. I don't know what's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be the best, but I know I'm going to do something, and I'm going to still desire that win.
Yeah.
That's me at 49 years old.
Yeah.
I'm still getting up, having that little chat with myself. But I don't have the speech of, you suck.
Right.
Everybody hates you.
Yeah. It's like, how do you turn those moments of like looking yourself in the mirror and being like, this is what I don't like about what I see?
I stopped looking in the mirror.
Okay, that's not ideal. But how do you take those moments of like looking in the mirror and taking that negative talk to something positive? How do you like look at yourself and think, I don't feel this way about myself. I mean, I do feel this way about myself, but I also know that I like this part about myself.
But there's stepping stones to that. I feel like everybody wants to talk about, I was like, give yourself like, you're the best and you're going to do great. Yeah. I was like, that's the new generation coming up. They all think they're the best, right? So they have enough positive speech, but they need some real speech, And I feel like there's a generation I come from was that everybody had negative speech.
Right.
And we need real speech because if we get positive speech, you're a liar.
Right.
So every time you get up, as when you have such negative context of yourself, if you wake up and look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, you're the best, you're going to really conquer this today, you're lying.
Right.
You're talking to yourself, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
You're lying to yourself. So give yourself some truth. Maybe give yourself some truth.
Yeah.
Like, I got up today. I didn't get out of bed yesterday. I got up today.
Right.
So I at least won that.
Yeah.
I won getting up today.
Yeah.
I brushed my teeth today. I won that because yesterday I didn't have the energy to do it.
Right.
So maybe that helps someone. I don't know. I don't know if you want to get that deep, but
No,
I also let's explore that, because you're talking about, you feel that it's more of a feminine thing and you have some ideas of why. You didn't really explore that.
No, I didn't.
So I'm going to give the camera to you because
Why?
I feel like, because I have my opinions of why it is skewed that way. Because you're right, in some context.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the other context is when it comes to most of the males even in 2023, if you're a male, cis male, you have a shut up and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Still in 2023.
Yeah.
And it's not a negative speech, but it's more of a just hold on to it, man.
Yeah.
Just get over it, suck it up, put the boots on, get to work. Even though in 2023, we still have that mentality.
Yeah.
So, but I want to hear the perspective of, because the negative speech because it came from a cis female.
Yes.
And that would be you too.
Yes.
So,
Oh, you want me to go now?
I'm going to push your button and then I'm going to pour
Okay.
beers and run away.
So I think
Cry in a corner.
You'll be fine. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Suck it up, male.
So I think there's this thing of like, as a, I have to finish this first.
You can't
So
do things at once.
why are you whispering? So I feel like there's this thing of, sorry, he's trying to refill my beer. Here. So there's this thing of when you're,
She's the worst at this.
can't do it. When you have kids, when you are the spouse, when you are the partner, as a female, there's this role that you're expected to play. There's this role of, I have to get these things done or else I am not what I'm supposed to be. There's like this shoulder you're supposed to be for everyone around you, because that's what, I don't know. It's like, that's what the norm tells you that you are. You're like, when you're a best friend, you're supposed to be there all the time. When you're a mom, you're supposed to be there all the time. A partner, all the time. So there's these things of like 24/7, you're supposed to be on. And then when you get so exhausted, you're like, I don't want to be on anymore. And then all of a sudden, you're not good enough because you're not on all the time. And it's this thing of like, it's not just being on, it's like being on and then being in shape and then sleeping 10 hours a day or whatever it is that's normal, and then eating all the right foods. So that there's like this weird thing of like, you're supposed to be perfect, like all the time, because somewhere in someone's realm, there is this person out there who takes care of their kids, who goes to work 8 to 10 hours a day, who comes home and cleans, who cooks, who grocery shops, who's there for their partner when they have to be listened to, who does everything that's expected of them, and then still somewhere takes care of themselves. So there's this moment where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, there's no friggin' way. I am not that person. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't eat the right foods. I haven't called my friend in like 3 weeks. I haven't seen my siblings. I haven't called my parents. There's this like weird guilt that just exists as a female human that I don't, and again, you'll have males who say, well, it's like you choose almost to put this on you. And it's like, who else can take it on? You're in this moment and you're like, well, then who else is going to be the person? Who's going to be the person that decides what we're going to do? Who's going to be the person who takes on the responsibility? But you never feel like enough because you never actually reach those expectations of what's out there for you. And that part, I think, is where the negative self-talk is it's so easy, because you're like, oh my gosh, I see the people who can do it all. I've seen the people, and in reality, they're not doing it all. They're doing a portion, but when you see it, it feels like they're doing it all. And then somebody comes to you in your life and they're like, well, you should be doing, and you're like, friggin' A, man, I didn't know I had to do all the things because I am exhausted from doing everything I thought that I could, and it still wasn't enough.
And I think, of course, I'm a cis male, so I'm getting my 2 cents. That's what we do. Seeing it from the outside, it's realistically, men don't get told that stuff.
Right.
Like
Yes.
cis male, they just don't get told
Yeah.
you should.
Yes.
They don't get told that.
Right.
For some reason, most women will get told by other women
Right.
what, and I'm just thinking my perspective. This is only my perspective. Will be told, well, you should be doing this with your kid. You should be doing this to reach out to your friends. Why aren't you better friends with your sisters? Why aren't, I was like, well, a dude, quote unquote dude, doesn't say that stuff. They go, oh, it's all right, bro. And that's
And then
it.
move on.
That's the atypical. I think we need to veer away from that. And I feel like those are both ends of the pendulum swing.
Right.
And most of us are somewhere in that gray area in the middle, where you do have some dudes that you will say, why aren't you talking to your wife, man? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I said, what was that? Some story told me. Oh, it was the freaking thing Ryan sent me. Jeez, man, that messed me up, bro.
You can do this.
So it was, and I'm not going to explain that story yet, but I was just like sitting here like, we need more people to be real with us instead of telling us what we need to do.
Right.
Right? Be real about it. I mean, because most people that will tell you is like, well, you need to do that. The first reaction is like, you don't know me like that.
Right.
Yeah. Most people that will tell you what to do or give you opinions, they don't even know you that well. Not on that level.
Yeah.
The people that do know you on that level don't give you the advice.
Right.
So you're like, come on, man. I was like, I asked you what I could do to do this. And you're like, it's fine, man. Just let's go have some steak and a beer. I'm like, that's not helping me at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to console me and I'm going to feel full and get a little tipsy. And then I'll forget about it till tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
When I need to wake up. So, but I really do realize that I do see that it happens to be more of I think that's where the root of mansplaining comes from. It's like, it's not just a cis male doing mansplaining. Females do it to each other. They tell each other what they need to do differently because their life is better than theirs.
Right.
And in reality,
It's not.
none of their lives are better than
Yeah.
each other. They just have different issues and they have different things they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So I sense that because I don't get told what to do differently, like barely ever. But
here's the crazy thing is like, it's not like somebody tells
And
me.
I suck at everything.
It's not like somebody tells me what I should be doing
Well, that's
differently.
negative talk.
It's not like someone tells me what I should be doing differently. Just shush yourself. It's more of like, it's the expectation of then who else is going to do it that I put on, that I feel like a lot of women, especially moms, that put on themselves of like, then who else is going to do it? Because yes, we all want that. Like, yes, we want our house to be clean. We want laundry to be done. We want everything the way it should be because that just makes life easier. But if it's not us, then who? I think is part of the part. And then also, there's this weird this weird viewpoint of women sometimes of like, well, now you're being too naggy because you're asking too many times. And like, I've asked you, and if I've asked you to do it 3 times, I don't want to ask anymore. I don't want to ask anyone anymore because now why? Now I'm just being a jerk because I have to ask more than once when it could just be done.
And here's a character trait that I've realized. I can't put it all in that one. It just doesn't fit. I tried the Dorian trick. Sorry, didn't work. So when it comes to my perspective of your parenting style and your partner style, is you need to test that nagging boundary.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I feel like you don't check in or follow up enough to where I think that's why you don't do that, is because that's just my opinion. I don't, tell me if I'm wrong, to where you don't nag. You've never gotten to the point where you've nagged. That
I don't agree.
That I've ever seen, that I've ever felt.
To me,
and
if
believe
I've had
me,
to do it more than twice, it's nagging.
but there's a difference between assuming somebody's hearing what you're saying and then just asking them to do a thing.
It's a weird balance of holding somebody accountable,
Right.
right? Because like I asked you to do this, you said yes, so I want to get it done, but here we are last day and it's not done. So now who's going to do it?
And I feel like on my perspective,
shift.
What's that?
We took a weird shift.
Why?
Anyways, continue.
Okay, then go back. Pull it back.
Wait, can I read a message?
Reel it back in.
2 messages.
Reel it
3
in.
messages. Okay. So Bailey said there's not enough hours in the day to do what we're supposed to do. Fact.
Oh my God, that's
Valerie
so true.
said it's pre-programmed into us. I don't know who did it, but they did. Yes. And then Bailey said, I also feel guilt asking.
When you're saying us, who's us?
Women. But we already talked about this. Literally females.
So
moms.
You know all moms on the planet.
I don't know all moms.
And you know the scientific reason.
But here's the crazy thing. If you talk to majority of moms, they feel the exact same way.
Correct.
So there
But
is
that something that's programmed into you, or that society has put into your
still
thinking?
Programmed.
Right? I was just like, is it something that's innate in your system? Because it's not. I feel it's not.
We don't know.
I feel it's more of something that we have put on as a burden onto moms. We've put this burden onto moms for some reason.
Right. But the crazy thing is, I feel like if you asked a mom throughout the whole planet, the whole earth, they would all feel the same way. Because it's not like it's not like, again, it's not just the moms in this chat. It's not like I haven't seen a majority of moms post the same thing. So it's like a mom thing happening on the whole planet that's happening.
You're absolutely right.
Feels this way about like, I'm just not doing enough.
You're absolutely right.
And you can be a cat mom, it's fine. Or dog mom. It's the same
and I'm
thing.
I'm not trying to I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're right.
Yeah.
But I say, but that programming, where does that programming come from? Because I feel like there's also a programming on the flip side as a father is like, figure it out, rub some dirt on it. And you go, well, if I'm not going to do it, who's going to do it? They'll figure it out themselves. They can do it themselves. I think that's the other pendulum swing.
But here's the funny thing. We're not just talking about kids. We're talking about spouses too.
Yes, for sure.
If I don't do this, then who will?
Right.
Because it's not just kids. It's not just children. It's like being a partner of somebody. If I don't, then who will? Hoping that the person will, but it doesn't always work out that way. And it's like, so do you let the project fail because the other person didn't do what you asked them to do, or didn't do what you expect them to do?
Or on the flip side, the other person knows they don't have to finish the project
because you're going to do it.
Because the other person's always going to do it anyway. So why would I?
Right. But again, the issue is the whole negative self-speak is, if I let it fail, then it's on me. It's even if you do a project as a partner, you and I are in this together. If it fails, it's on me. Because realistically, only half of that team feels the pressure of it failing.
True.
The other half is like, well, we learned. No, we didn't learn. We failed. We failed, and now I'm a failure. And that's how it is.
I think that is the negative speech, at its core, right? Like, no matter what happens in that person's life, that you failed.
Yes.
Not the project.
Not that we.
Not the project.
Failed.
Not the relationship.
Yes.
Not the contract we were trying to get. I failed.
Yes.
And I think that's where it comes down to, when it comes to relationships. At least this has been my experience, because I have many failed ones. When it comes to relationships, the guy really, at least from all the guys that I've ever sat down and had a conversation with, but it may be because we went the same therapy sessions. I don't know. We all just had the same problem. But we looked at ourselves as we were the problem, and we failed the relationship. We failed it.
Yeah.
Yet we have that other balance of, they're like, well, yeah, you did. We're moving on. I was like, well, I feel like if it's a relationship, we failed.
Right.
Right? I've learned that, not early on. But I feel like when it comes to parenting kids and doing those types of things, it doesn't hit a normal, an atypical XY chromosome, and I
know.
and I
Continue.
say these things out of respect because I accept
Yes.
all humans
Right.
as they are and how they want to be. But from my perspective, is after a while we blame ourselves solely for the failure of our family, for the failure of our children doing something or turning out to do something that's not completely awesome, or like we feel like we have failed them.
But
And that doesn't happen in the moment. I feel
Right.
like it's more in the moment for the mom.
yes.
But it's a long-term like grinding. It's like gritting your teeth every
Yeah.
night. I mean, because after like 10, 15 years, you go, who was I?
Yeah.
What did I do? And I don't, I'm giving you, let's talk about the people in the chat. I have a perspective that I have a 30-year-old daughter.
Right.
Okay. So I have to look at it from that perspective. And I also have a 15-year-old son in the house.
Yeah.
So my perspective might not be better, but it's different.
Right.
Okay. I have a different perspective.
Right.
Because I've played the long game. It's not a game, but you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've played the long game. I've failed my children, every single one of them,
Right.
many times. But I still have a relationship with my adult children. Even though, and I think it was a conversation with Bailey, was when she thanked me for being forgiving. And I was like, oh my God, I thank you for being so forgiving.
Yeah.
Like, because we couldn't get to this place if we weren't. So we have to look at it that way too. It's like, yes, you always feel like you're failing in the moment. But if you keep doing what you feel is right and have the ability to change what you feel is right because you learn something new, you might not fail all the time.
And again, maybe that's a thing to think about, is that like I'm a short-term planner. So like in the moment, I only see the failure as it's happening. I only see the moment as it's happening. I don't see the long-term game.
That's all I see. And
Right.
that scares me because the short term, I'm like,
Because again,
you don't understand how that's going to damage you, bro.
I think that's the difference between our parenting styles, is that I am like, no, here's our short-term land. We only have the kids for this long. We only have them for this
But
moment.
you're
And
parent their whole
but-
life.
Exactly. I don't see it that way in the moment. In the moment, I see, well, my kid's not doing this, so I didn't do it right.
Right.
Well, they don't have this right now, so I didn't do it right. Because I don't have that long-term thought process yet. And I feel like you're lucky enough to have it because you have older kids. But in the moment,
in the moment, I feel like I'm still making the in the moment mistakes every time,
right.
you know?
But I it's the weirdest thing as a parent. It's like, again, I can only talk about as a female parent, but as a female parent, I'm stuck in the moment of it's only this moment. In this moment, I'm just not enough right now. In this moment, I'm just not doing enough because for all the things they need, I have to work this many hours. For all the things that they need,
It's true.
I have to do these things. But in order to do these things, I have to give up something else. Whatever it is, something else has to be given up to do the things, because I am 100% a believer in they're only here for so long. Even if they live with me till they're 30, they're only kids for 18 years. So for 18 years, I have an impression on them that like really makes a difference. So if in 18 years, if I don't do what I think I should be, I failed that moment.
So let me, and if anybody knows us, I don't counterbalance to argue. It's more of like my perspective. I have a father and I'm almost 50 and I'm still getting some perspective from my father.
Right.
At 49 years old.
Yes.
So it's not an 18-year-old.
It's
not a cutoff.
I agree. But in the moment, it feels like it is.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, I know. Like, I learn things from my mom and my dad all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But the most impression is between 0 and 18. But for you, you're like, no, we have a whole lifetime to make decisions and do these things. And I'm like, no, we have 0 to 18.
And
so in 0 to 18, I have to do these things or else I didn't succeed.
So, I mean, here's how we always talk about, we don't always talk about that there are studies that when you have, go tinkle. There are studies of saying, and I don't have the studies, but yes, I do go down the rabbit hole, of the counterbalance of having two different types of parenting styles. Now, I'm not saying the one has to be a dude, one has to be a lady. That's not who this guy is. I'm saying two different kinds of parenting styles. Because if you don't have those two types of parenting styles, then that child doesn't get that perspective. So I know Sarah as a 6-year-old, Sarah with the child as a 6-year-old, will treat that kid as like the 6-year-old as they are right now. I have a perspective of my 6-year-old's going to be a 10-year-old. So they need to learn some lessons so they can understand how to maybe do some laundry, maybe to put dishes away. They don't have to be good. They just have to do them. They might have to scrub a bowl, or they might have to fold something, or they might have to sweep or do something. And it's going to be crap. We know that. But so that at 10 years old, next thing you know, they're going, hey, I know how to do dishes. Maybe I can learn how to cook something for myself. Cool. Then by the time they're a teenager, that's my perspective. That's how I look at it. And you guys know where I'm headed with this. What I'm headed towards is I'm always looking for what's next year. Yes, I understand that we need to deal with something in this moment. But if we're not preparing people, our small human beings, or even our adult human beings, for what's going to happen next year, then they can't. What was the word that I said earlier? The trajectory. Like, where's their trajectory? If they're just sitting here and they only know the same skills all their life, well, then they can't be self-sufficient. So I'm always looking at what they're going to be a few years from now. Sarah has what are they in the moment. So if we don't have the dichotomy of the two.
Big word.
Two different, sometimes I blanked out. Ugh. I'm back now. I'll use little words because I don't even know what that word means. Of two different types of parenting styles, you don't get a balance in that human being.
Right.
You don't get the experience of, it's kind of like having an instructor, right? It's like you got to do the homework, write it down. You also have to have the lecture.
Right.
You got to watch the video. You got to, if you have all of those, you have a well-rounded experience in learning. And I feel like that's how life is too. So if we're not at this counterbalance, like constantly, even though I get migraines and we both have high blood pressure. Well, she doesn't anymore.
Mine's good.
Mine's not. And I've learned there's some people in my life said, stop caring so much. Then you won't have a high blood pressure. I don't think that's the answer.
Not the answer.
It's not the answer. But I was just saying you got to have that difference, because if you're not giving another being the variety of both, like the nature and the nurture,
right?
The future and the present. Yeah. How are you growing? You can't grow.
So I'm going to say this. I'm going to end on this note.
I just
said I'm going to end on this note.
All right. I was just saying I had to vamp a little bit and come up with dichotomy while she. Oh, don't even start. I don't even know what that word meant till yesterday. Because she had to go tinkle.
It's fine. I did it. So what's I'm going to say? For all of our negative self-talk people, do not say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to your kids, your best friend, your mom, your dad. Do not say anything to yourself that you wouldn't stand up and defend yourself. Defend those people in your life if someone said those words to them.
I'm looking up that song.
You are way more than enough. You are doing more than you probably should. And you are wonderful in everything that you're doing. Every single thing. No matter how many times you look in the mirror and you're like, it's not enough today, it is 100% enough today. It's that weird thing of like, no, it's not pep talking yourself, because I will pep talk you for you. But there is no more for the rest of the year. We're making this goal together. There's no more negative talk. There's no more saying I'm not good enough. I didn't do enough today. I should have went to the gym. I should be less weight than this. There is no more of that for the rest of the year. And that is our goal together because we're not doing it. We're done. We're done for the rest of the year. We're out of it. That's it. Not doing it anymore. And if you hear your partner say those words, you bring them back
to themselves.
To themselves.
They say them to you. It's a whole different.
They probably shouldn't say
Whole
them to you.
different
But they say
thing.
them to themselves. You have to be okay with giving them a giant hug and being like, you said we're not doing this for the rest of the year. Because it only takes, 20-something days for it to make something a habit.
28.
28 days.
I mean, that's the.
So for 28 days at least, we're going to not do negative talk. We are going to tell ourselves we're enough. We are enough. And we're going to move forward.
And
That's it. That's it. Last words.
it doesn't have to be. Okay.
That's it.
Then I'll be quiet.
No more words. I said it.
Can I?
Nope.
No, I just want to say the song is Talk to a Friend by Rain City Drive.
I know.
I just wanted. You said talk to a friend, but did you look up Rain City Drive?
Yes.
While you were peeing?
No, I looked at it before the whole thing.
Oh, Rain City Drive. And there's a little history on them. They're actually a Sacramento band.
Yes.
They started in Sacramento many years ago. But man, that song.
Oh, it's so good. If you haven't heard it, legitimately, if you wouldn't talk to your best friend or a stranger the way you talk to yourself, then why? It's hard.
Seriously.
It's hard to make that adjustment. And there are so many times where I'm just like, I don't really like you today, but I'm going to need you to do better.
Or, I mean, I was looking at this way too. It's like your partner, your loved one. If somebody came up and said those things to her,
Oh, they get punched in the mouth.
yeah.
So you don't get to
That
do
would
it.
be the nicest thing I would do. to
At
them.
least 28 days, but rest of the year, we're not doing it.
Just not negative.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be some. You're the best.
No,
you're
just not negative
You're the
talk.
bee's knees.
No.
That kind
We're
of
just
crap.
not doing negative talk.
Yeah.
Bailey said, all right, she's going to call me for pep talks. Let's do it because, yes.
I'm not good at them.
No, he's too blunt for a pep talk.
No, if
I'm
you,
great at pep talks,
if
just
you
not
wanna
to
kn-
myself.
if you want to know my opinions about what we could
What's
do better,
happening?
I have dust on my
From a
keyboard.
fan.
Oh,
All right.
Since I
Wait,
cleaned it,
we've
it's
done-
gonna be
okay.
better.
We've done it. We've advised them not.
Oh, have we gone that far?
Yes. This is why my shirt says, how do you want to do this today? Because
That's
it
a whole
is
nother show.
the
That's
whole
not. We do
thing.
not. But
No,
I
it's a
just
thing.
I washed this. I did wash this from last Friday.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
It's the same shirt.
I washed my shirts like too much.
Okay, come on. Next section.
Oh, and that's another part. No, as we're talking about that, is that we advised enough. We are getting some more of these shirts made. Some of you are getting them soon because you answered that question last week. So,
The friends question.
but they're getting made actually by somebody that does them themselves. So
well.
it's gonna be very nice.
Yes.
All
right.
So,
Let's do this. Do you have a what's up?
oh, I do.
Go
do
ahead.
you?
Yeah, I do. I have 3.
Oh well,
2.
then
I
you
have
should
2.
probably start because then
Well-
I have one and it fits in
Well,
the
you
middle.
have to do the thing.
I have to do what?
The
What's up in you or
Ooh,
area?
There you go.
There's
Okay.
no sounder for that.
You should.
So okay,
Smell like a year. Aw.
I'm gonna write this soon.
Go ahead.
What's up in you or
Why
area?
is it so loud? There's like boopity boop boop.
That's yours. You're the boopity boop.
All right. So first one, mine are Fresno this week. California. So there is a
There's
rant-
another Fresno.
Yeah.
I didn't know that actually.
I mean, I'm assuming so.
Haberdashy,
Because it's like
haberdasher.
it's a chili, so I'm assuming there's probably more Fresnos. It's haberdashery number 1. But okay, anyways. So in Fresno, they have a Barbie truck at
Oh my gosh.
Fashion Fair Mall tomorrow from 10 to 7, and it has like all Barbie things from like the 70s. Merchandise, Barbies, like all the things. And I thought that'd be interesting. I don't actually like Barbie, but I thought it'd be cool to go check it out. What's
So who's this for?
It's for anybody who wants to be in Fresno.
Because of the movie that's coming out,
What movie?
Barbie.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It
It's a
just popped
movie.
up on the Eventbrite.
Margot Robbie.
Who?
Mago?
Margot?
Margot? Mago? Like
Who's
the Meg?
Margot Robbie?
I had like this, you remember the Meg? Like I have this
Big-
Jason Statham thing going on right now
Shark?
because they're making a sequel to that, and they're also making Expendables 4. So I
Right?
had this Meg thing in my brain. So
Margot Robbie.
Mego. Yeah, that's a thing.
Giant shark.
Holy
All right,
cow.
what's your
Named
what's your
Robbie.
first one?
I only have one. Like
I said, what's your first one?
and it's my last. So what's up in you or area? Realistically, if you missed it, go back and listen to it if you want. It's not that. I mean, to me, it was a big deal. But earlier this week, I think it was on Tuesday.
Yes.
I did a live stream with a good human being named. Well,
Michael.
I know, but it was like
Oh, his book name.
Philip Pan. But his real name is Michael Panish.
Ooh, we shouldn't tell people.
We should, because if you watch that live stream or listen to it on our podcast, it'll kind of explain why he did that as a pseudonym or a pen name
Look at you, big words.
for himself. Because he's published like 15 books.
Yes.
He's gotten to the point where he doesn't remember how many he's published.
He's very funny.
He's very funny because he's so witty, smart,
Yeah.
educated, and the least condescending, brilliant human being I've ever met.
I was gonna say pretentious. He's like the least pretentious.
Yeah, I
smart
mean,
person
he will
know.
never make. He is 1,000% smarter than me,
Yes.
but he would never make me feel that way.
Right.
And he's published so many books, so much good writing. He also does our Tuesday night. He leads most of our Tuesday night streams for my company that we do on Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. And he's been doing that for years. Amazing writer, amazing storyteller, amazing creative literary person.
Yeah.
So please, this Sunday,
Yep.
from 4 to 6, it's in Oak.
Nope.
Where is it at? Fair Oaks.
There you go.
I had Oak. It's in Fair Oaks at the Round Table.
Pizza.
Yeah, well, Round Table Pizza.
Wait.
And there's
wait.
multiple.
Things you don't know about Fair Oaks. They have random chickens.
Oh, that's
There's
true.
wild chickens.
If you like
at Fair
chickens,
Oaks.
like real chickens, like just hanging out, like they're your
weird.
friends. Like there's more chickens than humans, I think, in
That's
Fair
not true.
Oaks.
Not true.
But if you want to go there, Round Table, multiple people will be there, multiple artists, multiple writers, and they'll be signing their books. And if you want more information about why they're together and why they're doing those things, please check out my Tuesday episode. It was just called a shout out episode because this dude is just a cool guy.
He is. He's very funny.
He's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
So
All right, my last one. Back in Fresno. Near and dear to my heart because of my brother. The Cactus and Succulent Society are holding an annual plant sale at the Fresno Fairgrounds on Saturday. My brother was one of the founding members of the Succulent Society of Fresno.
So are we at this point campaigning for NPR? What are we
Not
doing
yet.
here? I mean,
No.
it feels like
NPR? No. It's my eyeball. Not NPR. Listen, if you want succulents, go to the fairgrounds. If you want Barbie trucks, Fashion Fair.
yeah, I've seen the SNL,
I haven't. What are you talking about?
yeah, where they have their little podcast about sweaty balls.
What?
Yeah, I just
That's a weird turn.
We're
Anyways,
taking a weird turn.
This is legit. This was on the What's Happening in Fresno this weekend event. I might go because I'll be in Fresno-ish area. Like,
Ish.
tomorrow and Sunday.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
You're
next
taking
days.
a little jaunt.
Oh, sorry, eyelash. Okay, last one.
I had one.
What? We didn't do the last
I
category.
thought you had multiple.
I did two.
You said 3.
Oh, no, I did two. I said you one, me, you, me.
Okay.
Shout out! Woo! Wait, I have to respond. Valerie said, "What succulents?" Yes, Valerie, go to the succulent plant fair
Aloe vera?
or cacti, or
What if there's only
Succulents.
one? That's cactus.
there's always more than one. It's a
not
plant
true.
sale.
I didn't put anything out down for my shout out.
I did, but I already used it. I have another one. Ready? Why is it so loud? Do you want me to go first? Because you don't have one?
Yes, then it might spark something like a conversation.
It
or-
won't. Okay. So I want to shout out. I have a very large family, like siblings, adopted non-siblings.
You want to compete?
No, I mean we can, but let's be real. So I have a very large family, non-family. So I'm very excited and shout out to my siblings because I get to hang out with them this weekend.
All of them?
Most of them,
Really?
yeah. Everyone except for Aaron, and then I might.
Ooh, Aaron just got called out.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then I might even get to see the Orlandos this weekend if
Well,
they're home.
That's up to them.
Well, they might be there. I mean, they have plans.
Yes.
So if they're home, I might get to see them. So I'm shout out to like all my family and my non-bud family because I love and miss them all. And every time I go down there, I'm like, if I get to see your face, it's like it's just makes
Yeah.
my week.
It is a
Makes my
bummer
day.
that I'm not going.
Yes,
But it is not in the.
cards this week.
It's just not. Normally I do,
Yes,
but it's a pretty short trip.
yes. Saturday to Sunday.
So, let's do it.
Yeah, see, you got it.
I got this because we're going to do a shout out because we are going to be out of town. So we were going to talk about
Yeah.
this anyways. All right. Man, I should have wrote that down. Should I write it down now? Can you
What?
write it down?
That we're gonna be not
Yeah.
here
Do you want
next
to borrow
week?
my pen?
No, I have a green one.
Oh.
Not here. Go ahead.
We will not be doing our live broadcast on Friday next week.
Unless
Well,
Saturday.
we might still do it next weekend or next week. We don't know, but just know that it's not going to be on Friday. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe, smash that bell, and then you'll know when we're going live. So we are going to take a trip. That's my shout out because next weekend is what it's. Oh, it is isn't it?
Juneteenth.
Yeah. It's not just Juneteenth,
Ellie's first birthday.
which is Juneteenth is Monday, right?
Yes. Well, yes.
Yes. Juneteenth is Monday. So we'll be in town for Juneteenth in Seattle.
Yes.
So we're going to go up to the Pacific Northwest. Just
Us too.
the house is not going to be empty, guys. So you can't
Don't-
come loot
don't
it.
have us. Our kids are
It's just us two. But we are going up there. We're going to try and visit as many people as we can. We're going to be in one central location kind of area. But yes, somebody is turning one. And so huge shout out to these human beings that are making me feel like a better father as I get older. Because they forgive me for the things that I've done and the things that I haven't done. It's more of the things I haven't done as a father. So I get to be a grandfather. That's a huge deal. This human I met once as like
Yeah.
like
Twice.
well, twice
We met-
Disneyland.
Yeah. We
Disneyland,
met-
but that
we've
was a
seen-
whole
Oh yeah.
that was a
twice.
whole different situation.
Yeah.
That was go go go.
Yeah.
So just remember, so I'm going up there. I might be able to spend Father's Day with one of my adult children. There's just a lot going on next weekend. Also, Lucy's young.
Yes.
We're gonna see her. We might also go to the Mopop
Yeah.
Museum. The opportunity is open to where I could see some of my sisters.
Yep.
The opportunity is open.
Basically, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, Washington-ish area, and you want to see us between the 16th and the 20th,
Whoa.
just send us a message.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it
So
out.
we will be up there. So that's kind of not my big trip of the year, but it's like we've dedicated ourselves to, at least I have, to be up there at least a few times a year for certain situations, certain things. But yeah. So we might do a live broadcast since we won some equipment. I don't know if I can figure out how to use it.
If it gets here by then.
It's got to show up before then.
I have one more
But yeah,
too when you're done.
see, I know it was going to happen.
I know.
It's all you.
There's nothing in this glass. But my last one, my last shout out. It's been again, friggin' rough week, right? So my shout out is to my Orlando/Garcia family because of Uncle Rudy. And we love Uncle Rudy. So we're doing our last shout out and our last cheers.
You gotta fill it up.
With tequila? With tequila.
No.
Because
I can't do tequila.
Valerie and John, you guys already know. So you better have a shot of something in front of you right now.
Okay, so can I interject at all? No, I can't.
Janie and Jerry.
It's fine.
If you listen to the
I don't need it.
later podcast, you also should have a shot in front of you.
Do I get to talk at all?
No, you don't. This is the end of it. We are shouting out Uncle Rudy. Don't cry, Valerie, because I can't do it either. We loved him, and we're saying cheers.
Show up in real life, people.
Yep. Salut.
It's not about.
And the end of the podcast.